In today's session, we'll learn about the payroll process. The first step to completing payroll for any given pay period is ensuring that all timesheets have been reviewed and audited. It is important that all records are reviewed by the appropriate supervisors and managers before we proceed to creating the payroll file. As an administrator, how can you review the status of the timesheets for a given pay period? The first thing that a system administrator should do is navigate to the Assist panel. From the Assist panel, please make sure that you select the correct pay period cycle. So if you have multiple cycles, click the drop-down arrow and select the appropriate cycle. For this example, we will select biweekly pay. Next, select which pay period. I'm going to select the previous pay period. You will notice that the date range will update from June 28th through July 11th. Once you've made the correct filters, proceed to selecting the timesheet status gadget. On here, you're able to see the status of the timesheets for the current pay period. Please note it is very important that your manager, supervisors, and the internal team audits all timesheets and makes the appropriate corrections if required. Once all these measures are done, then proceed to creating the payroll file. How do you create the payroll file? Navigate to the hamburger icon, navigate over to Payroll, and from the submenu, select Process Data. Once you arrive at the Process Data tab, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that the correct payroll bridge is selected. Then proceed to ensuring that the Generate a New Payroll file is selected. Then proceed to Pay Period. If you have multiple pay periods, please make sure that you change your filters and select the appropriate pay period from the drop-down menu. Proceed to refreshing the period. Make sure that you have the correct start and end date. Then proceed to Special Options. You will notice that this selection, you have a variety of different options. So let's start with the first one. The first option we see is Do Not Lock Timesheets. Do not change timesheet status to payroll. Timesheets with the payroll status are locked. This prevents users from making further edits and adjustments. So if you would like to lock timesheet, please be sure that this box is unchecked. Next, we have Skip Accrual Processing. This will not post accruals for the pay period. Next, we have Post Holiday Pay. This will post holiday hours with holiday records added to each of your employees' timesheets if they meet the holiday rule requirements. Next, we have Post Auto Pay. This will post any employee's automatic hours configured in the system. Next, we have Post Schedule Pay Codes. This will post approved scheduled vacation pay time off and sick time from the schedule into the timesheet. Next, we have Round Pay Rate, which will allow you to select the amount of decimal places used in calculating pay amounts for a summary report. Next, we have Post Monthly PPACA Hours. If this is applicable, please make the appropriate selection. Next, we have Only Process Inactive or Leave Without Pay if punches excess. Then we have Check Pay Matrix Discrepancies. And lastly, we have Send Process and Export Completion emails to additional users. Please make the appropriate selections depending on your operations. Please make the appropriate selection as needs may vary from time to time. Next and lastly is the Filter section. So on here, you can use the Filter section to determine which groups of employees you'll be generating the file for. If the filter is not utilized, the payroll file will be generated for all employees by default. When all your filters are all set, please be sure to select the process icon here at the top of the page. Upon selecting the process button, you will get a message stating you're about to process payroll for this particular period for 21 employees. Do you want to proceed? Please make sure that you validate the information, and if everything looks good, proceed and select OK. You would notice a message stating that the process has started. Once this process completes, you will get an email notification, and also on the page you will see a message with a date and timestamp stating that the process data file has been created. Upon completion of the payroll process, you will want to generate a payroll report. The payroll report will provide you either details or a summary of the information that is being processed. Please use the report to validate the information you're about to transmit. How do we run this report? Let's select the Report tab. On here, you will notice that it's going to take you to this report template, and you have a variety of different reports. You can run a detailed report, you can run an exceptions report, you can run a summary report. You can also run a summary report by pay code. Depending on your needs, please run the appropriate report. For today, we're going to run a summary report. So on here, I've selected the summary report. You can decide if the report should run in Adobe or in Excel or the other formats that you see on here. Next, I want the report to sort location, and employee. And those are the only filters I want. Next, I'm going to preview the report. You can download this file. You can save it to a specific folder on your computer for that specific pay period. But always make sure that you validate the hours that you're about to transmit. Verify that everything looks good. Verify the totals for each of your employees before you proceed to step number 3, which is creating the export file. The NovaTime system allows users the opportunity to export files so that it can be imported into your payroll application. What are the steps to creating the export file? From the menu bar, you can select export. Once you arrive to the export tab, the next thing that you want to do is make sure that you're under payroll bridge number 1. This is where that time file lives. The next thing that you want to do is select the process button. Once the job starts running, you will notice that it says the process has been submitted. Please make sure that you always wait for the process completed stamp and always validate the date and timestamp. Once the file has completed, then you will notice that there is a file for you to download. Download the file, save it on your computer, and import it into your payroll system.